Hi again. For a while we've been thinking about the type of day sailor that we might find to fill the hole that Piccolo left in our lives. We've been thinking about things like the Welsford Scamp or even the Welsford Navigator, which are amazing, sturdy and roomy boats that will be big enough and strong enough to hold my growing boys, my 2 dogs and I on our adventures. So today we hopped on the ferry and went over to Macleay Island to see some of the gorgeous boats of the Tindarra Sailors. We also got to do some kayaking, and we got to see some really beautiful other designs like the Lillistone Phoenix. And we got to find some cool fish too. So welcome aboard, and we hope that you enjoy all of the wonderful treasures that Macleay Island has to offer.
As Mum said in the previous bit just there, today we went over to Macleay Island, and it was pretty cool. It's a really nice little spot. Did you know it used to be called Tim Shea's Island because there was a convict named Tim Shea, obviously, who lived there for 14 years all by himself. Apparently, it's also a very culturally significant sacred site for Aboriginal women, and now it's a hideaway for people who don't want to be counted in the Australian census.
Our first stop was John's house, where we got to have a look at the Scruffie Stornoway that he has under restoration. This is a boat that is just like Kate Louise out of Sailing Kate Louise on Paul de Rosa's YouTube channel. He's doing a lovely job of it. Tucked away at the back of John's house is a much larger Scruffie that he has been restoring.
At John's house, there were also plenty of curlews, stupid stormbirds, but there was also a big pool full of fish, which was actually quite fun. I thought that'd be weird when Jean told me to stick my hand in there, but they're actually quite funny. I stuck my hand in and they came up and they were like nibbling it, and it felt very tickly. We speculated that if we got a fish tank for our house, I'd sit there with my hands in there for like my full arm in there for hours a day, and I'd pull it out. And it would just be nothing but bone, and I'd be like, oh, they're so silly. But yeah, the fish pool was really cool, and they're all very cool little creatures.
After a thorough exfoliation thanks to the fish, we jumped back in the car with Ian and headed up to Ivan's house to see his current navigator. He used to have Trim, which Josh now has in Sydney, but this little dinghy, well, it's a bit special. It's a navigator with a cuddy.
A mate on the island brought it back in a sad state. An exercise in what happens when you decide to change the design change the design to suit yourself. Don't work.
No. I heard you had to put in some extra buoyancy.
Well, if you look up ahead there, that second bulkhead next to the mast step.
You filled all that in?
Yep, filled that in, and the lower compartment just after that, I built that in. There's an anchor wheel at the front. Yep. On the first bulkhead, so when the boat tipped over, when she capsized, it sat like that.
It
was to bail out too. Yeah.
Have you done capsize tests since you filled it all in?
Yep. We haven't done a live, high wind one.
Yeah.
Took it out there. Yep. It lies. It now capsizes with its keel at level.
That tabernacle, that's amazing.
Yeah. I've adjusted things a bit here, so I've now got a new wedge, so I can get the motor up a lot more.
Because that's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah. 14 years ago, this guy, an engineer, was down at Port Macquarie having a holiday, and he saw these boats in the bay, and he thought, they're really nice, I'd like to have one of those. So he built one.
Yep.
He didn't sail it.
The Phoenix is the sister ship to the Stitch and Glue version, the First Mate. This is the First Mate that my dad's just built. Nice job, Dad.
As Mum was filming this footage, I was lying on the deck of Ivan's amazing house overlooking Straddie in the distance from the deck, and it was really cool. Except a disturbance to the peace was my brother making a lot of noise down on the beach because apparently he found a turtle bone.
We couldn't not stop in at Ian's place and see Pug. I think this little boat has probably sailed more of Moreton Bay than any of the other little boats I've ever met.
And there we are, taking the kayaks down to the beach with Ian. I'm really, really grateful that they let us use their kayaks today. We had a really good time out there.
This is Dalpura Beach, right by Ian's place. What a spectacular place to live. Dalpura is one of the most enjoyable places to come for a dinghy cruise, and I'm really looking forward to bringing Frankie back here one day.
The rocks, you might see it.
Okay.
Yeah, go between that mangrove and the shore, and then just go along as shallow as you can get, and you might come across it.
Well, they didn't find the fish trap, but Luca took some great footage on the GoPro.
After being cruelly dragged out of bed before 10 o'clock this morning, I ended up having a really, really nice day at the beach and on the island. And I'm very grateful to Ian and Robbie for letting us borrow their kayaks to round off this great day at the beach.
Well, I think after viewing all these lovely boats, we're probably none the wiser yet as to which type of boat should replace Piccolo. So if you have any thoughts about what boat you think would be good for us, please drop them in the comments. It's been great to be able to share this day with you. I hope you can make it out to Macleay Island sometime. It's the most exquisite tropical paradise. Really quite a place. We look forward to exploring the waters more in our little phar, but for now, we will be content to ride back on the ferry and enjoy ourselves.
Thank you guys very much for watching today's episode of Kids Afloat. I very much look forward to seeing you guys next time out on the water.